So here we are behind the innocent white line, and one of the biggest questions asked by the Gladiator community is, at those big points, what do I do? If I'm serving, do I do a 3/4 pace serve, or do I go full out and win it? If I'm returning serve, am I defensive and just get the ball back, or am I trying to control play? What do I do? And so this little white line becomes the moment of truth at those big points. And I can tell by the way the questions are phrased, 3 things that will help you. One is, there's clearly a conversation going on between you and the voice in your head. At those big points, from nowhere, self comes out to play, called the voice in your head. And if there's a conversation going on, you can bet your life that thoughts and feelings are driving you. You're not driving thoughts and feelings. And when thoughts and feelings are driving you, you are reactive, you're spontaneous, you're doing your best, but you're doing your best with a little conversation going. Drama. If you are in control of thoughts or feelings, you're dictating play, it's still and calm, you're thinking less, and you're going through a real process. So the first thing to think about, unless you are controlling your brain, the brain is controlling you. Clear. Second thing is that you are attached to the outcome, you're not committed to the process. You're there behind the white line, either intensely focusing, going, I've got to win this point, it's a big point, I must win this point or not lose it. And perhaps you're so flooded with the chemicals and the nerve sequences that you're there just confused. What the hell do I do now? So we need to be committed to the process. And whilst there is more training on the emotional, tactical and shot-making process, for now, let's delete focus with clarity of thought. So clarity of thought means, how is this point going to be played out sequence by sequence? Your serve is not finished until you've made your second shot. Your return of serve is not finished until you've done your second shot. So it's a sequence. How is this going to be played out? And we need to do this freeze frame by freeze frame on the sequences you've done in practice. The serve is going to go wide. They're going to run, they're going to do this. I'm going to anticipate, move my feet, my next second shot. That's a little sequence. So 2 things happen with clarity of thought, which will really help your thought and brain process. One is, there's no room for future or past. You're 100% in the present. As you can see, how is this shot going to be played out? When you're into focus on, I mustn't do this, I must do that, some of your brain is in the future. What happens if I win? What happens if I lose? And some of your brain is in the past, about the last shot or the unluckiness or how we got to this situation. So let's say 30% is in the future and 20% is in the past. You've only got 50% focused on the job in hand. If you're going to battle and something big is about to kick off, do you think you're going to have 100% attention on the job? The second thing that happens when we have clarity of thought and a sequence process is that there is no room for self. The voice in your head and the conversation dies to a whisper. How fantastic is that? So now we've got 100% in the present and we're still in calm. The third thing then to talk about is about the magic of breathing. In the 25 seconds between the break points and when you're behind this shocking white line is one deep breath, hold and release. Dynamic meditation. And as you're doing it, brain is becoming still and calm, shoulders are becoming relaxed. And actually during the point itself, breathe out as you're doing your serve. Breathe out as you're returning serve. This very effective breathing makes you relaxed and rhythmical. If you don't do it, the tendency is to rush your shot. You see a gap, the opponent's going to close it down, you want to rush it. But the main reason for rushing is that your brain, yourself, is screaming at you, finish this point quickly, I don't want this anymore. So those are the 3 things. Control of the brain, thoughts and feelings. If you're not in control, it's in control of you. Be committed to a process, not be attached to the outcome. And breathe. Two final things to conclude. We always focus on ourselves on big points. Don't forget, the opponent has exactly the same conversation going on. So if you're trained and they're not trained, in the invisible game, you've got an advantage as well as the physical game. And to answer the question then, are we cautious or aggressive? Are we trying to play not to lose or aggressive to win? The answer is neither. What we're trying to do is raise our game and close out. Closing out is not playing not to lose, and it's not playing aggressively to win. Hope that helps. See you in the community.